Our seas are filling up with plastic. Much of it are the bottles and bags that we throw away every day. But about 10% comes from the fishing industry. And the problem with abandoned nets is that they keep catching things. On the Cornish coast, that means seals. These were spotted with parts of old nets around their necks.
Basically, seals are very incurious creatures, and they will come up and look at the lost fishing gear. It's the most exciting thing they've seen all day, and they'll play with it. And that entanglement is unfortunately life-threatening.
So how does all that fishing gear get there?
We'll just change this, change that.
Yeah.
Well, some of it is lost, but for years the fisherman's dirty secret was that the easiest way of getting rid of an old net was to dump it at sea. Adam's a skipper working out of Brixham harbour, and he says things have changed, with fishermen now bringing in their old nets, as well as any debris and plastic they find out in the open sea.
So if you imagine everybody was dumping their nets after 6 to 12 months, you can imagine what would be out there. And now nobody's doing it, and now we're trawling it all up. I mean, it's a massive difference we're doing, a massive difference we're making.
See if it's okay.
For the last few years, a scheme has been in place which takes away the fishermen's old nets once they've been brought to shore.
Part of the reason why recycling fishing nets is so complicated is because they're made up of all sorts of different materials. There's metal in here, there's different sorts of plastic, and that all has to be sorted out, and that's what Neil's doing here before the plastic parts, the recyclable bits, can be sent off to be processed.
This is the new processing facility in the Cotswolds, which means that nets from British trawlers can, for the first time, be recycled here in the UK.
They're usable in a variety of different applications. For example, our footwear components here contains the fishing nets.
So these are in people's shoes?
These are in people's shoes, yes. So people walking around with some of our customers' shoes on, they will have some fishing nets in them.
So incredible. So it's gone from being a net to footwear?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's a small step forward in what will be a long journey, cleaning up our polluted oceans. Jonah Fisher, BBC News, in Brixham Harbour.